SRS Rocco. This guy's always about silver. He posted an article at Silver Doctors, and it's titled, Why Silver Could Surprise in 2016. There were two record-breaking silver factors in 2015 that could turn out to be quite an interesting development for 2016. The figure that make up these separate factors don't seem so striking until we combine them and study at the trends. This is what I enjoy doing the most. Why? Because I can see interesting developments that aren't readily apparent when we look at the figures or data individually. By combining this data, we can spot noteworthy trends that could likely set up the market for stunning future price movements in silver. For example, 2015 turned out to be a record year for total U.S. and Indian silver imports. Combined, U.S. and Indian silver imports didn't just surpass the previous record set in 2014. It smashed it by 20%. So that's 2014 versus 2015. 2015, 20% more. And let me just add this real quick. Uploading my video, so let me add this picture, this one. You can see from this chart, U.S. and India silver imports versus mine supply. So the blue chart, or blue bar, if you will, is total silver mine supply. The gray bar, or it looks kind of grayish brown, U.S. and India silver imports. And as you can see each year, look at 2012, 29%, 2013, 42%, 44%, 53%. You can see this trend. Keeping in mind, this is just U.S. and India silver imports. My question is, what about the rest of the world? Where would that put this chart? As we can see, U.S. and Indian silver imports surged to 14,446 metric tons in 2015, up 20% from 12,045 metric tons in 2014. This turns out to be a cool 464 million ounces of silver. Furthermore, the combined silver imports of these two countries accounted for 53% of total global mine supply. So, if that's the case, again, what about the rest? Thus, the percentage of U.S. and Indian imports, silver imports, versus global mine supply continued to grow from 29% in 2012. Note, while it's confusing to some reason, he's talking about why they talk about metric tons and ounces. We're going to skip that. Investors need to realize that the U.S. and India importing 53% of total mine supply is a significant figure. I would imagine India is importing a lot of silver not only because of its excellent investment at the low $15 price, but due to their huge demand for future solar installations. India plans to get stupid with massive new solar installations. India plans to bring online 100 gigawatts of solar installations by 2022. As of 2014, they only had 3 gigawatts of solar installed. India's drive, that's essentially 3% of the 100% they want. India's drive to add that much more solar to their energy mix will consume a great deal of silver. I don't see their silver imports falling off a cliff anytime soon. That being said, I would like to say a few things about the solar industry. As I have stated in several articles and interviews, large solar power installations are not economically viable when we consider their full cycle costs over their lifespan. Just about every cash flow analysis I have studied on solar farms and large installations show they don't pay back the original investment over the functional lifespan of the project, which is about 20 to 25 years. However, to make these boondoggles somewhat feasible, the public utilities pay the solar power plants 2 to 3 times higher the going wholesale electricity rate. I am not saying this occurs on every project, but I've seen it to be the industry standard. Why? Because the solar farm can't pay its bills over the lifespan of the project when it has to compete with regular, such as coal or natural gas fired plants, wholesale electricity rates. So even though I would advise the Indian government or private companies in the country not to waste their capital dumping it into solar projects, they will continue to do so by installing 100 gigawatts by 2022. I plan on writing a bullet report on this subject matter because we could all learn a valuable lesson from the disaster still unfolding in Spain. And he says, according to the recent article, Tilting at Windmills, Spain's disastrous attempt to replace fossil fuels with solar photovoltaics, solar panels. The gold rush to get the subsidy of 47 euro cents per kilowatt hour began because the subsidy was so high, far too many solar PV plants were built quickly, more than the government could afford. This might not have happened if global banks hadn't got involved and handed out credit like candy. Even before the financial crash of 2008, the Spanish government began to balk at paying the full subsidies. And after the 2008 crash, which was partly brought on by this overinvestment in solar panels, the government began issuing dozens of decrees lowering the subsidies and allowed profit margins. In addition, utilities were allowed to raise their electric rates by up to 20%. Solar companies went bankrupt after the financial crash, including the Chinese company Suntech, which sold 40% of its product to Spain. About 44,000 of the nation's 57,900 photovoltaic installations are almost bankrupt, and companies continue to fail or lay off many employees. Do you see the problem here? First, the utilities were allowed to raise their rates 20%. Why would the utility companies have to raise their rates if solar was such a technological innovation for the world? Second, at the time of the article, September 2015, 44,000 of the nation's 57,000 installations were nearly bankrupt. Does this sound like a commercially viable enterprise? Well, we humans, especially the ones making policy decisions in governments, will not learn from Spain's solar industry disaster. Basically, the less economic sense things make to governments, the more stupid they become. Again, it doesn't bother me one bit that India plans on consuming millions of ounces of silver to build their massive solar farms and installations. Why? It's less silver remaining for the market and investors. Thus, it adds more pressure on the silver market going forward. Official silver coin sales in 2015 smashed previous records by a wild margin. Another record silver factor that occurred in 2015 were official silver coin sales. Not only did official silver coin sales hit 130 million ounces in 2015, it surpassed the previous record set in 2011, which was 116 million ounces. That's a hefty 12% increase. So the bottom line here, well, let me finish this. I'll just read this last little bit because it's kind of interesting too. While there have been some down years, such as 2012 and 14, since official silver coin sales jumped in 2008, I don't see this trend reversing anytime soon. Furthermore, the massive amount of increased debt and leverage in the financial system since 2008 only guarantees that demand for official silver coins will become even stronger in the following years. As I mentioned in my article, Silver Eagle sales to jump 25% due to deteriorating market conditions. He says Silver Eagle sales will likely jump by 25% in the first quarter due to deteriorating market conditions. During the first 3 months last year, the U.S. Mint sold 12 million Silver Eagles. Already, sales of Silver Eagles have reached 13 million, and there's still 2 weeks remaining in March, and the U.S. Mint will likely sell another 2 million. This will put total Silver Eagle sales for the first quarter at 15 million, which is the highest ever to date. Already, the U.S. Mint sold 13.9 million ounces of silver, and there is a week and a half remaining in March. We will easily hit the 15 million ounce mark by the end of the month. If the U.S. Mint can continue pumping out 1 million ounces of Silver Eagles per week, and if demand also remains strong, we could see total sales for 2016 reaching 50 to 52 million ounces. Just think about the huge increase of U.S. and Indian silver imports and record official silver coin demand in 2015. If these two trends continue to grow in 2016, It could turn out to be quite an interesting year. One more thing. I don't know if you all noticed in the first chart, but according to the data put out by the World Metals Statistics, they showed a slight decline in global silver production in 2015. The World Metals Statistics show 2015 global silver production down slightly from 2014 in 2015, from 2014 to 2015. I thought world silver mine supply would be down 1 to 2% in 2015, but I don't have all the detailed data on all foreign countries. I do believe global silver mine supply will be lower in 2016 due to the shutting down of several base metal mines. If the price of copper falls even lower in the second half of the year, we could see even more copper mines shut down, thus causing more declines of byproduct silver production. When you add up all these silver factors, I believe 2016 could surprise investors, even though we are currently experiencing a short-term bullion bank precious metals price takedown. And right now, silver is at $15.29, gold is at $1,223. And I think tomorrow might be a great day to spend some of that income tax return. Did I say some? All of the income tax return on some silver. I think that's what I'm going to do. Hope you do too. Take care.